The following may include subject matters of war, violence, loss, and adult themes which may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Previously on Darkeport. Episode 25. As the culmination of their previous decisions, the Fellowship finds itself in dire combat. While still battling the flesh apes of the killing fields, the death tamer Caepio Secundus has alerted yet another party to their sabotage attempts. Barolus, the master of the camp the Fellowship has just sabotaged and is in the act of leaving, descends upon the group in a fighting rage. Despite being bare-chested, the patrician warrior displays a level of physical resilience unknown even to Titus or Nellishly. In addition, Avad, Barolus' second-in-command, expertly guides an ever-increasing number of his master's men to rain down arrows onto the intrepid adventurers. Caepio himself enters the fray from a distance, although perhaps without unleashing his full suite of will working. Finally, yet another massive figure hurtles into the melee, a hulking brute by the name of Constantine. Like Barolus, Constantine fights with such power that no doubt remains. Both are chosen. Although the Fellowship fights to its best ability, the sheer might of the combined adversaries soon begin to overwhelm them. Titus tries several times to order the others to flee. For various reasons, however, he is unable to compel them to do so. Young Jason in particular seems fearless to the point of recklessness. Marcus's ability with the golden light roars into being, reviving Titus not once, not twice, but 3 times from the verge of death. Indeed, only the true cleric's appeal to Barolus' own self-interest prevents the enraged lord from taking an unconscious Titus' head. Weisa attempts to save Titus' life with her own uncanny blood magic, but for once she seems on the brink of failure, and thus death for them both before they are saved by Marcus' healing. Overpowered, the Fellowship is compelled to return to the camp, wherein Barolus turns upon Avid, furious for having brought these traitorous outsiders into his home. Marcus once more successfully intervenes, somehow convincing the mad patrician to spare Avid's life. He bids the Fellowship to leave and return by dawn with a sign of good faith from his objective to the north. As a guarantee of this, he holds Weisa prisoner, vowing to give her a clean death should the party fail to return on time, as she is an advisor of House Vorn. Jason is compelled to stay as well, whom Barolus promises to feed to Constantine should the Fellowship fail.
And welcome, faraway friends, curiosity seekers, and lovers of fantasy the realms over. We we were singing just before, so you caught us in. Actually, I'm not even going to attempt that Latin. I had a very different phrase just pop into my head. Welcome. Yeah, very glad that you could join us tonight. Let's see a couple quick things. Some really good news. I think we're ready to say this, that we have been accepted to present at Gen Con. That's a really big deal. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's the largest gaming convention of all manner in North America. Last year it was 70,000 people who attended, so I'm real looking forward to that. Probably next week I'll give you a little bit more detail on what we're going to be presenting. We still have one presentation outstanding that's pending, and we're seeing if we can make that work logistically with the schedulers. But yours truly will be presenting 3 different things, 3 different topics, 2 different days. Saturday's going to be wild. I'm also running, I think, 3 games over there. Corey, you're going to be presenting at least 1.
Yep.
And it's awesome. Really, really excited to do that. So, yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity, of course.
If you're there, please, I'd love to meet y'all.
Yeah. Gen Con this year is August 1st through 4th. It's up in Indianapolis, so... No, August.
It's August.
It's August. It's August.
I'm wrong.
So it's probably no. Because I'm looking forward to escaping Austin, Tatiana, and the
heat
in the grips of August. Yep.
Oh.
As always, our sister brother stream, Constructed Chaos, with us. So thank you there, Alex, GM over there. Lots of fun. If you have never seen their stream before, different energy from here, but a lot of kind of, I used to describe it as like hijinks and shenanigans, but the campaign's getting a little grittier over there. But a lot of very, very good world building is one of the things. So talk with Alex pretty frequently. Go check it out. And Tobias, we have some sponsors. Yes.
Yes, we do. We are very grateful to Eldridge Foundry and Cantrip Candles for continuing to support us in our endeavors. I would like to draw your attention to some affiliate links, which are in the description of this video, both of which will allow you to check out these wonderful products while also supporting us in all that we are trying to do here. So if you are interested in the many beautiful minis that we have used here on stream, or the lovely Candle of Tales and the myriad scents available of all kinds, please do click those links in the video description and check out those wonderful partners.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Earhart?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So on Sunday, this Sunday, May 19th, we're going to be filming. We'll have to figure out what the release schedule is going to be on this, but we're going to be filming session 0 of Darkeport's second table. Sort of second game, Daggerheart.
That's right.
Yep, that's pretty exciting.
Oh,
I'm excited. It's funny because this person got really hyped about 1.2. For those of you who know the saga of the rules, anyway, it has been a moving target. I think that is fair to say it's been a moving target. They're now in 1.4. Somebody pointed out to me that they're coming out more than once. It's faster than once a month. These revisions are coming out, so their agility has been incredible. Darrington Press's agility has been incredible. It's the publication arm of Critical Role, if you don't know that. So yeah, it's going to be a really different vibe. You'll see some new faces. You may see some familiar faces. There may be a face at that table that Tobias is particularly fond of, and that would be our dear friend that you gamed with for years, Caitlin.
That's right.
Who actually we introduced to gaming.
That's right. It's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm really, really stoked. There have been a lot of logistics we've had to go through to get there, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to delving into what Critical Role has cooked up. All right, I think we are ready for the Candle of Tales. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Let's do it.
The tale begins.
Candle
of Ooh, it sounds like a build, something
It was a build.
exciting.
And we're in the hilarious situation that Tatiana was not here, but it was her turn to do the journal. And so I said, do you want to do that still? And she was like, yes, I can do that. So I'd be interested to see.
It's a fun one.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
I have a question. Actually, after you read, I have just a question for you about my performance as Weisa.
You did great.
Okay, great.
She's anyway. Okay. Prisoner they call me, and prisoner I can be for them. I will let my face be what they want it to be. I will make my eyes wide, and I may even draw a solemn tear. Rigid be my spine, tall be my chin, but I will let them think I am a scared advisor, too far from home and out of her wits, wishing for mercy. But scared I am not. Out of my wits I am not either. I will stretch the thin layer of my pity for these lost souls and make it a veil to hide my hatred. My hatred hot and seething, poisonous and bubbling with my hostility. This is what tortures me, that I cannot act it out. They insult me not by forcing our forfeit or by taking me as hostage, for that I can respect, but to animate the dead in order to battle, to mock Tezcatli herself, is the most unholy act I have yet witnessed. My people, though brutal and cutthroat, understand that when Tezcatli opens her divine door to you, you bow to it. Only beasts would fight with such depravity as their weapon. Such dishonor drives the core of me mad. How I wish I could spit my venom on them. And if they do need to slay me, I will, and it will be the holiest thing they have known. If the beast Constantine is to eat Jason, it will bless his insides with light too pure for him to stomach. My friends will prevail, and so will I. I will listen, I will watch. I will learn these men no matter how much they repulse me. Fools to let me into their lairs. I will suck everything out of the air I can without suffocating them. And still I will play the part they need me to. Docile and scared. My friends, there is nothing they can do to ever win.
I got chills on that one.
Yeah.
If you were around during Vampire the Masquerade, I would be so scared of you.
Really good, baby.
That's really good. Very elderly.
Yes, yes. My darling, we adore you. Will you wait for us?
I will.
All right.
We bid you adieu.
And Caepio, you have made your choice, and you are in the camp. We will be seeing Caepio later.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, actually, I don't think the Candle of Tales has ever made it this far down into the custody of the person at the.
Now the only lighter left of
That's where it belongs.
family.
For the next hour.
Ooh, the beginnings of
the next-
pride. The beginnings of pride. Are you a prideful man?
Ooh.
So, the Fellowship has left the building, and you are, and indeed, the camp. Titus, gray with exhaustion, has little to say as he makes his way forward. The clank of his articulated plate, his dried blood on there.
Still pretending to be unconscious right now?
I'm gonna say that you carried him far
Outside,
enough away,
yeah.
and then at some point, yeah, let him down.
So these runes were we just rested or something? Or how far away from the sight of the eyes there?
I'll let you. How? So the camp does not seem terribly interested in you. Mm-hmm. Barolus had literally turned his back on you and just started eating.
100 yards away, if nobody's really paying attention to us. He could have come out at any point during that time. So about 100 yards away. But before we actually do that, Mac, your bow. You threw it, yes?
No,
I got it.
Oh, you got it back?
Yeah.
Vivius, your book.
Right.
Why don't we go to the ruins there and just camp for a second?
As soon as you don't get nearly that far, Randy, before Titus looks over, and impatient to not be a burden to you and to get back on his feet, he squirms out of your hands, and his armored feet and shins hit the ground. You see he's in a bad way. He's actually kind of dizzy. Initially, I forgot in all the fun of last session, you also have a level of exhaustion from having recovered.
I assumed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Good call. So he's swaying slightly, trying to catch his bearings. I'm trying to think. Yeah. So actually, he probably would have been as you passed by his weapons. Because remember, they would have just fallen on the ground.
Right.
Ugh. A moment, friends. And he kneels down, kind of having to wrestle.
I'll assist him. I'll pick him up.
So he re-gears, and while that's going on,
Lord, we need to go a little ways and rest for a few.
Agreed, Merrick.
Off we go.
Do you look, and for the first time since this nightmare began, he really sees the state. You're a little beaten up.
I think I took like 8 points of damage.
You're a little beaten up. Yeah, you should have all that recorded. He
Yeah, I do.
looks at you. You're way better than you should be.
No,
honestly.
I look like a little scarred, scratched, but
You got, yeah. Initially, you have your beautiful silver blood is just all over you.
and you look pale.
Mac,
So,
if we have any stinky water, now would be the time to use it. It's going to take a bit.
Why don't we
Get it going
you
into.
mentioned a book?
Yeah, that's for Vivius, but he, as I point to Titus, could use the stinky water now.
Can we go to the ruins out of the sight? Yeah.
Sure.
Vibius is scurried ahead to collect his book.
Let's go.
I mean, just have him drink it so he takes a torch, right?
It does. Well, here.
Yes. Drink it now so we can start working.
My lord.
He looks at you, Riley, when you called him by his name, and then kind of nods though at the dark humor of it all. All right. Remembering that Weisa was the one who had collected a lot of the stinky water. I know you had some with these three characters and Titus.
I did not have any.
You had
I
none.
literally pulled one off during the battle, but I was reminded that it wouldn't work for an hour. So I had one in my hand at the time.
That was when you were in the camp, and that was implied. But I'll say yes, you did.
And I believe Titus had one.
I just went back and watched that, Corey, because I was looking at that. But I'll say you have one.
I believe Titus had one or two as well.
He has at least one. I think he has two. Will you grab his character sheet real quick, Corey? Is it right there? Sorry, I should have grabbed that already.
No, I ain't sure.
not here.
It's not there.
Nope.
I remember his character. I think he had two. I know that the group had at least two, so I'm going to say, because bad GM, I should have had that. Really? Oh, I did. Does Donnie take his character sheet with him every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually know where it's at too. So
You know where it's at?
Think about it. I was running out the door.
I should have asked you to bring
Yeah,
it.
I didn't even. I was just running.
So Donnie's out of character real quick. Donnie's at work. We're not mad at him. He's not sick. He's okay. He's just at work. He's out of state. I knew I was forgetting
I
something.
ain't sure if it's going to work, but I think we should give one to Nalishli and see if it will on her.
Give one what to me?
We have these vials of water that his people make. They're sort of like slow healing potions.
They revive you.
I don't know if it will work on you, but I'm willing to try one.
I mean,
But yeah, I don't have a choice.
Here. He tosses you one of these clay vials.
okay.
Catch it. You're kind of shaky.
Kind of shaky or like really shaky?
Oh, no. Yeah, that one. You're...
Here, don't spill it. Grabs it. Open your mouth.
Okay.
Oh, you are a baby.
You have to kneel down because he's so short.
Right.
It takes a torch.
Humiliating. Okay.
So if it works,
Tastes nasty.
Okay.
There's a reason they call it stinky water. Titus quaffs his, and oh gosh, was it so off today? 2d4 for
never used it.
for the base potion. I think it is. We'll look it up in a torch in game. So I know what it is in basic, but I don't think it's the same. They're pretty close though. So Titus is pretty banged up, not just physically, but also mentally. And he kind of loses the thread for a second. He looks like he's about to just try to plop down where you're at, but you need to get a little further.
to that point, as soon as he starts like kind of swaying or wobbling, whatever, I'm going to use resistance on him to see if it will kind of bolster him just a little bit in case he has to like make any con checks or something like that. you know.
So you call forth. How do you imagine that? Because I never want this to be a pest dispenser.
I gotcha. I imagine it kind of the same way I imagine Bless working. So it fills them, gives them that kind of...
What does it feel like for you as you pull it up?
Warmth. Just warmth. It's always the way that the light comes through it. It's just always warmth to me. When it's being spread out in the Bless, it's a much stronger, but in this one, it's more diffuse, kind of like lukewarm at best, because it's so brief of a time.
He takes a breath, but the problem, Randy, is that this is an ongoing situation, and there's no way you can do it every moment.
No, of course not. Just when he was like swaying, you know.
So it helps. And so periodically you can try to bolster him. You don't know what your limit is yet, like in terms of how much you can do with it before you actually start feeling it.
Right.
So who is all with us? I just want to make sure we have the right.
The three players, Vibius and Titus.
Okay. Vivius, does anything in your book help with the current situation we're in?
I don't think so. Sorry. I wish if we have another chance to gather information, I can help.
Back by light?
First light, dawn, with a token of good faith.
It doesn't give us long.
It doesn't. Not enough time for a good long rest. I think we could take a couple hours and just collect our collective breath. But I think we need to get there first. As I point north.
We need to move,
Yes.
Titus says. And he forces himself up.
Let's move. My lord, with your permission, I'm on a scout ahead. I think in this situation it's best if I am quiet and have eyes, considering our condition.
I'm like hands on my knees, like, what are we even looking for?
There's a dome of light right up that way. Jason saw it. I can't see it. But I think I might have been able to at one point. There's a lot going on. But that's where we're going. About 300 feet or so that way, according to Jason.
Now that you're out here, you do see the distortion. It's subtle, like a mirage. Tall, too. It goes up, actually, as far as you care to look. Off in the distance, a little bit around a football field away.
And no movement from the mound of skulls there?
Not currently.
Altar?
Not currently. Okay, so you start going ahead.
I start heading, yeah.
How far do you want to go, Corey?
I will let... Is Titus still...
So mechanically, guys, remember, at 3 levels of exhaustion, he's at half speed right now.
Right.
Here's what you'll know. If I fire a green arrow, it's safe. If I fire a red arrow, there's immediate danger. If yellow means something's nearby. An arrow hits the ground in front of you. Regarding that is my signaling.
So, be prepared to leave the dome if you go inside.
If we get to the dome, I won't be going inside.
Good.
So I'll probably go a good, 40, 50 feet ahead, probably.
Okay.
Enough to where if I do at least a normal movement back, they can definitely see me. But
fortunately, Corey, or unfortunately, at Titus's current creeping forward, you actually, because this isn't, this whole island is like throwing you off and you're not moving at speed the way you normally would. But since you're relative to him, nothing has changed. So
Right.
even though you're moving at half speed to prowl, it doesn't matter.
right.
You can still keep up with him. So you go ahead. Get to that in a second. Okay, so you're just hanging on initially. Then you're just trying to put one foot in front of the other. Marcus, what are you doing?
I'm carrying one arm underneath Titus to keep him going.
Okay.
Did I pick up anything for those hours that we traveled with, what's his name? Vod, when I was watching everything he was doing?
Wrong terrain type.
I was still watching what he was doing.
You were. This would be a different approach, though.
Okay.
This is like ruins.
Oh, this is ruins.
Yeah, this is all.
It's all ruins.
Yeah, it's all
Okay.
ruins. And in fact, maybe you're surprised, Merrick, as you get further on. If anything, it looks like the examples of masonry get thicker, heavier. It looks like there were some permanent structures here at one point. Nothing huge, but certainly bigger and more substantial than what you saw in the camp.
Does it feel like a ruined city? Or
Like like small town, large village sort of
Cut
situation.
type things.
At points, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably clay, but yeah,
Clay. Okay.
fired clay. Not Kithki. I mean,
Do I
it's
have time to look at tracks and see what sort of creatures are kind of been in the area, if any?
with how they're going. Yeah. Go ahead and make a tracking roll, i.e. survival.
Not very good. Still pretty good for my survival though.
You know what? I need to check this right now because I believe. Yeah, that's an ability check. Sure, you're at disadvantage.
Oh well, never mind then. I mean, I can roll again. Second one's probably better. Yeah, so I'm still at 9.
9. All right. And I do remember that you rolled, extraordinarily well
On that tracking roll,
previous to this. So you're looking. So I'll tell you this much: the complexity and the story and the layers and everything are absent here. There are some tracks with a 9. Basically, all you can tell is that you don't see animals. You're not seeing animal tracks here. That's really about it.
All right, I will focus more on my listening and observing as I. I'll double back a little bit and say, all clear and move forward.
So you're being pretty careful then, as you're going out because the party's in such sad shape right now.
Yeah.
All right. Eventually,
Do I have an gauge roughly how many hours does it take to get there? I mean, I guess we're not moving at a fast pace, so
no, you're not. I mean, you could get there. You could get there relatively swiftly, even at this pace. Though it's probably only going to take It's probably going to take less than a torch.
Okay.
Even creeping and doubling back and everything.
We started at what, 2 hours past high sun?
At least, yeah.
And when do we have to be back?
Dawn.
2 hours past.
High sun, so 2 hours past noon at least.
How long do we have?
That's 10 hours. We got noon. I would say at most 16.
16 torches?
16 torches at most. Probably 15 now with the time we spent getting there.
So, eventually, and you don't need to roll for this. It's plain as day. There is an oddly ordered and pretty clean, not spick and span, but a pretty well kept, larger tent. The dimensions, it's more of a rectangle.
Okay.
You see there are pennants that are flapping in the breeze.
Do I recognize those?
You do not know. Merrick, this will be hard for you because this would all be secondary. Go ahead and make a history check, though.
A disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage because of the exhaustion.
Oh, one was a 20 and one was a 3.
That's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, right now you're pared down to, you're watching your peripheral vision, you're looking for danger. That's what mode you're in right now.
Survival mode.
Yep. So there's some sort of embroidered design that's pretty big. It's not, I mean, it's like yay long.
Does it look emerald? I mean, never mind emerald. Does it look like it came from, sorry. I think you already mentioned that already.
That's fair, yeah.
I have an Arbella, so does it look more that style? Or is it more like Moria style?
It looks more, make another history at disadvantage. This one's lower.
That will be a 12.
It's some kind of old empire or derivative thereof. So yeah, maybe Memoria. It's possible.
My lord, fellowship. The make there seems some aspect of the old empire. Whoever's potentially in there might be from there.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means the tent is from the old empire.
How long has it been here?
You have no idea.
Oh, well, is it tattered in any way?
No, that's the thing.
It's pristine.
It doesn't look, well, it's nice. It's well kept.
And it's inside the dome or on the outside of the dome?
Outside.
Okay.
It could be will working like
Would be.
Figulus Naeus does with his hut.
And it is like Y'all, it is like dead in between. So if you're, making
Do I hear anything coming from there? Disadvantage.
Not at present, yeah. That's true, Corey. Yeah.
Everything's a disadvantage, right?
No, not at present, yeah. But yeah, any ability check. You're still at full speed, and you do not have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Right.
Real important. Titus has a disadvantage on basically everything that you roll on right now, including attack rolls.
All right. How far away from the dome now are we? Like, if we can see, is it shimmering stronger?
You're about halfway now.
I think this might be a good place to rest, at least for a bit.
Do I feel anything from the stinky water? Anything at all?
You actually are starting to feel some sort of slowly building warmth in your stomach. You don't know if that's bad or good, but you presume something is happening anyway.
Let me go check out the tent to make.
Cool.
I will go a little ahead, and I'll actually get very close to the tent to the point where I can even maybe peer in slightly using, I don't know, stealth or whatever.
Okay, and you're prowling over there.
Yeah.
Okay, make a stealth check. And again, I won't keep repeating myself. It's just all a disadvantage right now.
Always.
Oh, 18.
18 still.
Well, I have a pretty good stealth, so.
Yeah, you do. You get up. You sidle on up. It looks like the front of the tent is oriented toward you. So it's like, Burles' camp and this tent are oriented toward each other. Do you want to go to the front, or do you want to circle around the back side?
I'll circle around. I mean, I'll circle around and then kind of scout out the whole tent and see if there's any additional.
Oh, okay. All right. So you'll make a pass on it
Make
first.
a pass around on the back side and then hit the front.
And I just want to say, while he's doing this, I'm just so exhausted, and I'm presuming that us and Titus are just kind of nearby. I'm just gonna lie on the ground and close my eyes, and just for a second connect with Tezcatli. And
So smart.
think about number one, how fucked up it was seeing dead things that were animated, and number two, ask for support from her.
There is a link to her that will only be severed the moment that you return to her or that you are destroyed. So that remains. And from last session, you are now consciously aware. It's a very odd thing, Allie. And for a human, it's usually only during a heart attack or something that we become aware of our heartbeat. But you can now feel your creation matrix thrumming inside of you and trying to reach out, trying to start the slow restorative process. It's not a heartbeat exactly, but there is a rhythm to it as well. There is a sacred rhythm to it as well. One that you don't know very well yet, because you've just it was just this battle that you realized that's how you were designed. That's all you got. But it does feel good to just lie down and do nothing, and let that 20 con of yours start to recharge you. Titus is tough as nails, not a 20 con, and he has, and he went places even you didn't, and you can, you know what? Let me see, because I know Donnie would want to stay on his feet to protect you if he could, so he forces himself to stay on his feet. He's not exactly on guard, but he's not prone.
I figure if I was actually holding on to him, I'd just lean him against the wall so that he could face out. Wouldn't be able to
like the nearest, the nearest ruined wall that you can find. Okay,
that's going to be strong enough to support his weight with the armor.
That makes sense. As you're sitting there, I'll get to you in a second, Mary. As you're sitting there, make a medicine roll. Yeah, and I think you're the only person who doesn't have you and Vibius don't have exhaustion.
Medicine would be 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you would definitely see it. You look over at Titus. You do. I know I've asked you this before. I just want to confirm this. You do have proficiency in medicine. Okay. So you look at it with a practiced healer's eye. Your eye goes to Merrick as he just before he disappears around a corner. And you know that Nalishli's wounds have already been attended to by a competent healer, question mark.
Yeah, right.
Hard to use that word with Caepio, but someone who is, let us say, skilled at keeping his subjects alive when he wants them alive. And pretty much what's can be done for has been done. You think that if you took the time, you might be able to apply field first aid to Merrick and Titus.
Sure, I'll try. Seeing as we have him going off, I'll give that time a little bit of time to work on Titus, and when we actually find out what's in the tent, I'll work on him later.
Okay.
But Titus is the one that's...
It's going to take a while.
Okay.
Short rest.
Yeah, I'll wait till we get inside.
Okay.
So I'm not distracted. I'm kind of on guard as well.
I don't think I'll get I don't think I, as the GM, will get distracted, but just write down that you got a 23 for that roll. So basically, I'm going to let you ride off of that once you get to, once you get a chance to apply that knowledge to them. Okay. I'm picturing you circling left.
Yeah.
So as you circle left, Corey, another mild surprise is that there are some fairly neatly stacked cords of wood along the side, like someone's been chopping, been going out a pretty. They must have gone a pretty good because you know there is a tree line here, but it's not nearby.
Any tracks? You know how that area is?
I'm gonna let you make one more roll, and if you can't beat it with a disadvantage, and if you can't beat a 10, I'm gonna say you're just not jiving with the land.
I'm not jiving. Well, it's tracking, right? Survival?
Survival, yeah.
Just a 10.
You're getting right on there.
Glad
Okay.
I specialize in that.
Yeah. Oh no, that's good. Okay. A lesser scout would have just allowed his weariness to overcome him and continue on, but you stop and you're like, no, this is too important. And you make yourself just push through the haze of tiredness that you're just battering at you. And you look and you're dealing with like brain fog right now, but you're slowly pulling out the story around the cordwood. And it looks like, you know, at the 10 you're not going to get much nuance, but you do see some kind of human tracks going back and forth, but you can't really tell how fresh they are. It's not, it's not like today.
Okay.
But
And I don't hear anything in the tent.
now that you're this close and you've kind of been sitting out here for a while, go ahead and make a perception roll. Normally I would say with advantage because you have all the time in the world, so it cancels out. Just do a normal perception roll.
Oh yeah, 19 plus my perception.
Oh, that's very good. Right.
That's gonna be a 26.
Nobi, where did you go to? I'm waiting for you. I'm still waiting. And I know you're there.
What language is this in?
And I know you, Daro.
Daro?
And I know you'll come back. I know you'll be... Daro's, for some of our faraway friends who don't know, Daro is basically common in this world. I know you'll come back. Cassius, you found her, didn't you? Cassius, where did you go? And you hear like a soft, quiet creak of wood in there, and with a 20, you said 26, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear, Corey, you know that it's somebody in a crudely made chair. He's shifting around, and you can hear the creaking of the joints. At a guess, you would say they've probably been lashed together. Sturdy enough, but, not completely silent. And then the man, it's a male voice. Doesn't sound super young, doesn't sound super old either. And there's some kind of rustling, like he's moving something near him, playing with some kind of. And you pause for a second, and then you hear the telltale of a strike kit, of the strike kit. Yeah.
Of a what?
Strike it.
A flint. Somebody starting a fire. Yeah.
I will pull back away to the party.
Okay. You did not complete your circuit.
Oh.
You do want to complete
I'll
your
complete
circuit?
the circuit.
Okay.
And then
Okay, so you complete the circuit. You see the backside of it. Again, the poles. Yeah, you're just like the poles are very well made. Like the whoever the woodworker was. This was meant to be a semi-permanent, structure. Not in the way that like a battlement would be, obviously, but
like almost like a war tent where you have to be there for siege for weeks.
Yeah, it could be seasons that you could be living out of this tent. And it's large enough. It's not huge, but it's large enough for several, leaders to sleep in, probably. You come around, there is a little, on the right side, there's a small little barrel, and looks like a bucket. You see some water in the bucket out there as well. And then finally, I could have described this before, but it's fine now. It looks like there are two standards that have been
the standards look
in.
What colors or
either side? The colors are purple and silver. You don't recognize the sigil, but you stare at it for a second, and it looks like a silver falcon in full flight against a purple backdrop.
All right, I will just make note of that in my head thoroughly, and I will return as silently as possible.
Okay. As far as you can tell, whomever is inside of the tent does not hear you, or at least does not react to you. And then you creep back, and you're still, Marcus, you're still waiting before you start tending to. Okay. Because you are going to have to strip off his armor.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not the place for that.
Okay.
Fellowship, my lord, I have a report. There is a man, speaks Daro, potentially Old Empire. My lord, I believe you might recognize his standard, purple and silver, falcon, with a purple background.
Zosh. House Zosh.
Zosh. He's calling out for someone, Nobi. He seems a little crazy. He's been here for a while and is missing some people.
It's not much of a surprise, Merrick. You see a ghost of a shadow across his grimy face.
Options are maybe he's remnants of the camp that was here previous that may have gotten sacrificed.
Vivius looks Dominique. My question, though, and to you, Centurion, too, is why aren't those things attacking him? I mean, this tent is in good repair.
Perhaps they don't go this close.
Maybe.
I don't know. It just doesn't ring true.
I mean,
Maybe.
it doesn't, but if this is a dome made by him,
We're nowhere near it, though.
maybe they were left there to protect him.
Vivius's eyebrows raised. Oh, all right.
I mean, spitballing, yeah.
He seems male. He's been here. He was making firewood. There's a lot of firewood, which means he's been here and plans to be here for a while. That tent is like a war camp tent, my lord, where you might be there at a siege for quite some time. Perhaps we should do a longer rest either here or take our chances and introduce ourselves.
I think we should introduce ourselves.
Vibius smiles without any mirth. Any port in a storm, eh?
Might be. Might give us valuable information on what's happening further on.
He looks back over his shoulder and says, well, we've got a dearth of friends out here, so it'd be nice to have at least one person who wasn't trying to kill us.
There is potentially a second individual. He mentioned, I think Cassius or something like that. Cassio? Where are you? And so...
Cassio?
Something like that. Cassius, sorry.
Cassius? Well,
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, the one who tried to kill me when we first came to Germentum. Cassius was the one who did that, but I mean, Cassius is a fairly common name. Was, with all the stories that I've heard from Beacon Gaius and my religious training, was there ever any Nobi or Cassius actually linked to the party that Jason Tenderheart was in?
Oh, go ahead and I'll let you, since you're asking that specific question, you can make a history check. It's a high DC.
Not. Where's the history at? There we are. 13.
You're not sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Always go there in a.
I say we say hi. Worst case scenarios, there's a lot of worst case scenarios, but with any luck, right? With any luck.
Don't you mean Ave, Marcus? And
Yeah, it's Ave.
Titus tries to smile a little bit at the more exalted way of greeting someone. And he, making the decision, he starts, unless you say otherwise, he's kind of highs himself up.
No, help him out.
Up and then,
Or I believe your station will help with this.
Takes a deep breath.
Interesting. Can I ask a question as we're walking on it?
She like pokes her head up from lying on the ground. What?
I first offer her hand up. We're moving.
Yeah.
And my question is, well, two actually. I've always wondered.
Keep going.
Titus can use my head as almost like a walking stick.
Yeah. I knew that's what you were going to say as soon as you started going.
Do you feel divinity, like just your own, or just your gods, or do you feel all divinity?
Or my shoulder, whatever you
Like, do you feel other presences other than Tiscotli?
I sometimes. I don't know the name for them, but
What do you feel here? Do you feel here? I mean, I know there's been a lot going on, and you might haven't looked into it deep. But do you?
I feel something that is not home. Something I don't recognize. Not bad per se, but it feels different.
Understood. Would you keep a feeling on that, a finger on that pulse? If anything changes, would you let us know?
Aye.
And my second thing is, when I am trying to communicate with Quailethorn, I find it easiest when he is highest up in the sky during high sun. I was wondering if you, being who you are, wouldn't have an easier time of reaching your goddess when it is completely dark, like the highest of the night.
That makes sense, Marcus.
I was thinking about that for a while, but I wasn't sure how you communicated with her.
Well, what took you so long?
I wasn't sure how you communicated, and we had a lot of things going on. But now would be the time. So if tonight, if we're still not making any progress, maybe that might be a good time to try.
Aye. I think she would be more available in the dark hours.
I agree. Is it working? The water?
You start to feel that warmth circulate. You had started to feel that warmth spread, circulate throughout your system. And roll 2d4 plus 2. Corey, go ahead and roll for Titus as well, 2d4 plus 2.
6.
Okay. You get 6 hit points back.
Yeah!
Stinky water.
Got this.
Stinky water.
6 as well.
6 as well, okay.
All right. We're moving on. So let's go say hi. Ave.
He nods. And
Vivia, stay close. Obviously.
will do. Ave, apologies for disturbing you. Not my intent, friend. I am... Well, welcome. Whomever you are, you're welcome. And you hear a man get up there. Titus says, I don't know about being welcome, but I am Lord Titus Metellus Glabrio Vaughan. Right. And the man just kind of, so you're, Titus is somewhat blocking the flap, but, may I?
Help me, yeah.
He steps in, and you see a handsome fellow, handsome brown-haired fellow. Aside from the fact that he's got a weapon of a nose.
Yeah.
Clothing is clean linen, not silk, but not cotton. And he's got a sort of. Actually, you need to look at his eyes for a moment to determine what the look is. It's definitely not standard issue.
How armed is he?
He has a gladius on top of a table, not too far, sword belt, not in hand though. On his person, he looks like he just has a dagger opposite where the gladius would be. He's has a spare build, but fit. It looks like there are several pretty plush collections of bedding throughout the tent, but there's only one area that looks lived in.
Right.
I lived in, like squalidly lived in, well kept lived in.
Well kept. Since you're looking, go ahead and make a perception.
Yeah. After the crazy from the last camp, I'm just like, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're not at disadvantage.
That's a lot. Perception, it's going to be 23.
Well, okay. So you see where this man sleeps, and it looks like he might have two companions with him. One of them, a woman who sleeps with him, or you can see little ribbons and some little, like a mirror, a polished, actually like a piece of tin maybe that's polished there to a high varnish. And then there's another full bedding, a little bit simpler, between the tent flap and this guy. So this guy's like sleeping all the way off to the left as you walk in, and
There are a couple,
and
basically.
there's so there are probably three of them here.
How recent is is it all made, or how recent is is it slept in?
Looks very tidy, like somebody has been meticulous, and it looks like all three, or 2.5, depending on how you're counting it. Looks like all of them are in use.
And no scent in the air that like decries just, I've been here so long, I don't have any will to go on anymore kind of feel.
Nothing immediate, although again with the 23, actually I know you rolled that, so this makes this possible. Make an investigation roll. I'll give you advantage on it.
Oh, even better.
Nice.
I hope so. 15.
It briefly passes through your mind that they might have been out here, because the ribbon is nice. The ribbon is green silk. And you haven't seen that much silk in your life, but you do recognize it. They've been out here long enough that you're not smelling any of the scents that would accompany like a well-to-do woman or a patrician woman or something like that. And there's something about this man that when he says, and he kind of snaps out of his reverie, right, wonderful Lord Vorn, Lepidus Terentius Cavinius Zosh, at your service. And he smiles. Zosh, right. Well, Domini, it's good to see you then. These are my traveling companions, Centurion Merrick,
Domine?
Lishley,
Aye.
and my healer, Marcus.
Domine.
Trusty second mate of the ship that we arrived on, Storm's Mare ship. And in his not so subtle way, Titus throws the line out. The man doesn't bite. Would you mind if we pass some time here? Oh, no, not at all, not at all. Please do. There's half of the tent that's not even used. Stools, furs. Here, let me get you some water. Well, no, this is a special occasion. Visitors who aren't trying to kill me. Wine, even. He does look a little pallid. Like he hasn't seen much sun. Or maybe he's just particularly fair. It's hard to say. And you see as you look at his eyes, also kind of a dark chocolate brown, that there are limbic, like a dark gray limbic rings around them.
Are you alone out here, my lord?
Alone?
I know that.
Oh, no. I have Cassius with me. Cassius Apsosh, and Zenobia, my paramour. Just don't know where they went off to. That's all. Here, let me get you. Have you ever had our bell and wine before? Oh, it's damn good. And he goes over to a kind of a medium-sized urn. Takes it out and wrestles with it for a bit. don't want to waste a drop. And he takes what are some pretty nice, like, silver goblets. He only has three. He has three of those, which is an odd number, but manages to pour that out. He looks, right. Oh, well, for you, Domini, and...
I guess I drink a sip of it first.
Okay.
Give it to him.
Oh, okay. You intercepted it?
Yes.
You know, so this Zosh Lord looks at you and kind of nods at that when you do that. Titus gives you a look, but doesn't comment on it, and then takes it. The Zosh Lord hands you maliciously. He kind of stares at you. My word, you are a wonder.
I take it and I kind of hold it down on my side.
Okay.
How long have your companions been gone?
Hard to say. I saw them this morning, or was it yesterday? No, it must have been this morning. It hasn't been that long. But
Lord, I'm a little confused. The things that are out there, how have you been here without being attacked by them?
he tries to hand the third glass, the third silver goblet to Vibius.
Take a sip.
Oh, of Vibius's?
No, mine.
Oh, okay.
No, I figured it's the same barrel.
You didn't. You haven't gotten one yet.
Oh.
So it's Titus maliciously, and then he's trying to hand it to the human. Make an insider perception roll, Corey. Again, a disadvantage.
Am I just a kid? Sorry. I almost wanted to go in there as a kid, but my charisma wouldn't allow me.
Well, that's your face.
Ooh, what is this?
Insider perception.
That will be my lowest is a 21.
Wow. Okay. He is not. He thinks that you are a dwarf, not fantasy dwarf.
No.
Middle Ages dwarf. He's not reacting to you like a Kithki, and he's not reacting to you like a child either. So
He's about like a dwarf human.
yeah. So he tries to hand it to Vibius, and Vibius is like, thank you, Domini, but actually he would be better served with that. Although Vibius looks at you, maybe I can just have a sip, as you like. He hands it to you, and he just sips it.
That's right.
I really.
I'll take it. Is there a shrine to Quaelathon in here?
There is a very small little shrine. Yeah.
Domine.
And it looks, importantly, Randy, you don't immediately see it's a 10th lighter shrine. It's the prime shrine, because you see in this case the 10 candles arrayed in a semicircle. You don't immediately see one more prominent than any of the others, which is unusual.
Okay. Domine, might I take a moment at your shrine to pay my respects?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Go.
I'm gonna head over. I'm gonna actually pour a little bit of the wine into the offering dish.
Okay.
For Quaelathon.
Okay. He sits down, and all of you have been, you especially, the Merrick, and your perception is you're pretty present right now. Titus is hurting. He's kind of starting to sway again. He sits down as your host sits down. He sits down as well, and you can see kind of this wave of gratitude for not having to bear his weight and be on his feet, wash over him, and then he rearranges, tries to compose himself again.
My Lord Zosh, can my Lord take some rest on one of these cots?
Oh, by all means. The fur on the other far side, that should be appropriate. It's nice and plump.
Marcus, have you field aid?
I don't know my brow. I'll be there in a moment.
I help tie us over.
Okay. He grimaces. He doesn't like not leaving you. Leaving you without him as a defender. But he's in a bad way. So he gets down and he whispers to you, Merrick, and soon I'll be able to call upon the power of my blood again. I can feel it to heal myself, just not quite yet.
Rest, my lord.
So he nods, and then he takes off maybe one or two pieces, like the bulkiest pieces, and then he is knocked the F out.
And I purposely do not want the wine, so I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take advantage of no insults by him not giving it to me, so that's great.
I, on the other hand, I'm going to give the rest of my wine to Vivius.
Okay. I'm sorry, Randy. How much did you take of it?
I didn't take any.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have a sip for propriety's sake, because the Lord's giving us wine, good vintage, I'm assuming. So,
Yeah.
But I'll take a
From
sip for
Abella,
propriety's sake. I'll give my offering to Quaelathon along with a prayer for us in the future, and then I'll hand the rest off to Vivius because he clearly enjoyed it. So,
Yes, he did.
What you, mate? You did outstanding out there.
I don't know about all that, but
You lived and survived. That's outstanding.
I mean, any day I continue to brand with breathing, it's a win.
Yeah, we should talk more later.
Of course. Yeah, he takes it from you, and greedily, he's like forcing himself not to just down it. It is the finest brew that that's ever passed your lips. I mean, easily. Probably a foreign, has kind of an odd foreign taste to it because it's not.
Sorry to interrupt. I
No,
was
go
going
ahead.
to say I've watched all you take a sip, and I've watched it happen, and I'm going to just slowly bring it up to my nose, and then down it in one.
Wow. Okay. It kind of tickles your nose, but after the stinky water, it's a welcome. It's heady, and it's a bit sweet with a slash at the back end of it, with a bite at the back end of it, and then you feel a very different, much more immediate warmth spread through your body, and it's kind of nice. And it actually does help numb the pain a bit. So,
Heading over to Titus to do my first aid now that he's out.
okay.
While they're talking.
Good use. So, how did you come to be here?
We traveled from north from the lands of north of Leptis region, a place called Geramentum.
Not familiar with that. Is it north of Weisam?
I don't know where Weisam is.
Shouldn't I?
You might make a history roll.
Oh, I don't. No.
Okay.
No.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard the name before.
You know Pollux?
Pollux. No.
Zahar.
Yes. North of Zahar?
North of Zahar.
On the east side of the Kogi?
The west side.
Interesting. Huh, I would have thought I would have seen it. All right. Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
So you traveled up the river, the Kogi River to the
did.
lake.
I did.
Shalishli.
How long have you been here?
Hard to say. Too long.
Better question. What year is it? What year is it? As I'm working.
In your mind, what year is it, my lord?
He says, what sort of question is that?
This place is weird.
And he says, tell me more of your travels.
We traveled by ship. We encountered some sort of sea creature on the way here.
Oh, the siren.
Is that what it's called?
That's what one of them said, although I didn't find it very attractive. I found it horrific. The thing, it churned the waters and turned the wind against you, did it?
Aye.
Did the same. It did the same to us as well.
Try to play mental tricks on us as well.
Yes, some of the men, they jumped overboard. Some of them even turned on each other. Didn't touch me, but I suppose it's because my blood, superior breeding and all that.
Our companion was struck with fear upon seeing it.
That was a common enough reaction. I really just... forgive me, I know it's bad manners to stare. Your skin, eyes, I've never seen the like. From whence do you hail, my lady?
I hail from Dread Mother. Know her?
Come again? From a person, not a place?
My creatrix is Tess Cotley.
You have me at an advantage then. You're clearly familiar with the Lord of Light. Sorry to say, I've never heard of her. Your place of birth, though, I mean.
Well,
Experimentum.
Oh,
Born in a field.
as many are.
Aye.
I was not, but could have been if Mother had been a little bit slower. It's a good thing. Must have been that Vorn blood in her. He looks over Titus and smiles. It's always did push things too far. Of course, here I am breathing, so I can't complain. Where is Cassius? He should have been back by now.
There are weird things going on out there, my lord.
I'm sorry, I've been remiss. Who was it? It's my mind wanders now. Was it you?
Marcus.
Right. You'll find names. It's a funny, normally it'd be one person rolling this with advantage, but you really have kind of been double teaming him. Actually, all three of you go ahead and make persuasion rolls. I want to see kind of how well you put him off his guard.
At disadvantage, I assume.
Yeah.
At disadvantage?
Yeah,
For
for
him, not. Well, actually, for you too,
and
right?
for you too, because of the weirdness.
Hey, roll the same. So my persuasion will be
6.
11.
Okay.
I have a 15.
Okay. You see something pass behind his eyes, and then he kind of... Any road. Well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like. It's good to have company. Do any of you play Succession? And he looks toward a rather elaborate octagonal board there. You know, you've seen Catherine play it before. She was quite fond of it.
It's a game that some of us I've seen played. I don't play it myself, my lord.
A game of patricians and kings, he says with a smile. But also, and Vibius raises a hand. Actually, Domini, I'm a fair hand at it. Oh, well, all right then. Hop 2. Now? Absolutely. Vibius kind of looks at you. Right, thank you very much. So they start taking the pieces out.
May I ask, my lord, what brought you here
down.
to this island? I study his answer.
He looks at you. He doesn't answer you. A little bit of time passes, and as the game gets underway, there is a fire going here, small, controlled, and actually in a small little clay. I don't want to say fireplace, but a little like clay fire holder receptacle that helps direct the heat in a certain way as well.
Kind of like a hearth.
Yeah, almost a porta hearth. Yeah.
Got it.
And as he starts to fall silent, kind of rock on the stool, nicely carved stools too. The stool he's sitting on actually looks like it's bedizened with some different inlays on it.
You'll excuse me, I'm gonna get some water for my lord. Bathe him with the cloth off. Is there a towel around there or anything?
Yeah, there are actually some nice linen towels.
So I'll do that. I'll do myself as well. First him, then
Cloths.
myself.
Okay, so you take off some of the
Blood.
grime.
I'll remove some of the blood on my skin.
Okay, where do you start at initially? Face.
Well, where's most of the damage been done?
It was in bits and pieces with the
It was
arrows.
in bits
Yeah.
and pieces, and I feel like it was like
You took one or
shoulder.
two bad hits on the shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, shoulder and chest.
wipe it off
Okay.
on the shoulder and my face.
Did it actually go through her, or is it stuck? I'm just curious if we pulled it out. Did we pull it out on the way back?
I'm gonna assume that when Caepio was tending to her, he cut out what he needed to. Yeah.
Right. So
His
aggressive.
hands were all over you.
Do you want me to roll for Titus's medicine?
No, you already rolled that 23.
Oh, I didn't know if I had to roll for the point.
So roll, 1d3. Actually, you know what? I need to formalize these rules, but since it's north of 20, go ahead and roll a die 4. Wasn't a crit, but
I got one.
1. Okay.
And one more is better than nothing.
It's a point.
That's the point. Adds it up.
If things just continue on with a nice little cozy game of Succession, you can tend to Merrick then next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tend to my armor, and I'm basically that's a Kethke. I'm gonna clean myself up and clean my items up.
it feels good. I mean, it does feel good to get some of the filth and the blood off.
And I'll make sure my hair pull back so he sees the elven ears, maybe. That's an indirect thing as I retie my hair back.
Yeah, it had kind of burst out. So okay, no, that's good, Corey. Yeah.
Okay. When you're done, let's take a minute outside and I can tend to your wounds out there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. Well, that was very good. Yes, very good. I'm impressed. This is of course the patrician, Lord Zosh. But you really must watch your right flank. Oh yes, Domini. I know. I thank you so much. I'm sure I would have missed that.
Or give a very meaningful look. Vivius over like the shoulder of the guy as we're walking to the gate or to the flap.
Yeah.
Be like trying to convey, hey, this guy's a patrician.
Beat him.
Beat him once, be cool, that's a fluke, but don't overdo it.
Roll his insight and see how well he.
Whatever 2 is.
2. That's pretty bad.
I'll do a chuckle and be like, you got lucky, didn't you?
Well, actually,
You got lucky.
make a performance roll then, Randy, and see how well you convey this. Because Merrick is helping you, I'll give you advantage on this.
Oh, that's better. It's a 15 performance. Yeah, 15.
Well, you see, the wonderful thing about succession is that there's no such thing as luck. And Domini, you're being very, very generous with me. I appreciate the lesson. Yes, thank you for taking the time to instruct me. It's not every plebeian that gets a one-on-one instruction from one of the ancient houses of the empire. Well, yes, of course. Happy to do it. We should always do that for our lessers.
Give him a nod.
Leaving with pride.
All right, so the two of you leave. You're not lying down, right? You're on a stool.
I think I'm just still like sitting, warily watching, but resting.
Okay, I'm picturing you with like a elbow up on one of the tables that are here. There's several of them scattered through here. And where does Winter Harvest is on your back?
On my back.
Okay.
We'll be back in a few moments, Lishley. Call if you need. We won't be full.
Eye gives you a look.
It's outside the tent.
Okay, so you leave the flap. Lepidus Zosh looks utterly absorbed now in the succession game. You can see his brow knitted and he's hunched over. Yeah.
Game 2.
Yeah. As Vivius, deliberately blunders. All right.
How far is this tent? So, how far are we roughly from the dome-ish, based on where we're at?
You're about halfway, so you're maybe 50 yards to it.
Can we see it?
Better now. Yeah, but it's still just a distortion, Corey.
Yeah.
In the air.
Got it.
At this range, maybe you can start to pick out that there's a slight color to it, but it's a very ephemeral thing. It just effervesces for a moment and then it's gone.
You think we should? How often do you regain your connection with Quellathon?
I have no idea. I've never actually tapped myself as much as I have. I mean, by dawn, usually his presence, when he awakens, I awaken.
If we rest for a bit, I know my lord whispered to me that in a torch or so he'll be able to use his internal gift to recycle.
I was thinking of that too. That might be a good place for it. Actually, I was curious. I should get that armor off. I need to see that back. Or whatever you got.
That's good.
Takes off the armor. Have you? I don't know if you have. Actually, you have because you were.
Yeah,
you were with me in my private chambers at that one time.
Yeah.
So I take it off.
Enough. I'm gonna get right behind him and start working. Medicine roll, I guess. Or do you want to wait?
No. I'm still letting you ride off of that 23.
Gotcha. So, what were you thinking when you called on her? As I'm tying wounds up and cleaning them out a little bit. What was going through your mind?
That I had no choice. That or a potential death of the party. The Fellowship. If we do not take these things out, and run, as you suggested, which I agreed with. The key thing was to take those two out and run north. For those archers, I know what archers can do. With so many, we were just pincushions out here. My idea was to take those things down as fast as we could.
Right.
I saw no choice.
But when you used them on Borellis, was that still the same kind of moment of...
I didn't use it on Borellis.
Oh, I thought didn't I see it fly towards Borellis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw it. I saw you use it on Borellis. I was watching. I saw them fly from the creature to Borellis. Do you not remember using it?
I just remember. I do now. I saw no choice. My lord was in combat with it.
I understand. So, a couple of things occurred to me here, as I'm still just quietly doing my stuff. We are always given tests of faith.
He plays with his bracelet and
I
you're
know.
talking.
We are always given tests of faith. And this time, when your faith was tested, you turned to Rolf.
And I turned to the Great Mother first. I needed several times, and the calling wasn't there.
So is it a give and take kind of thing? You call her when she gives you something and not when other times?
No. I've been praying to her often lately.
Right. Well, Meg, unfortunately, it's really hard to say you have faith in one when calling on the other. They're so diametrically opposed.
But Granny Touchdem told me there's a balance that I can strike.
Have you struck it?
I have not used Roth power except for in this one situation. And I have called and continue to call on the Great Mother. She gives me luck beyond luck.
Right. Well, my concern is what you invited onto this island, really. By invoking her as you did.
She's very strong on this island already.
And I was thinking about that actually for a while. There's death and decay everywhere we look, right?
Absolutely.
But it was one of her worshippers that called on her to use her power on the sacred island. She has no dominion over death, but I believe that you actually invited her onto this island when she had no foothold.
She was strong here.
I'm not saying she wasn't.
Very easily accessible. More so, and I resisted as long as I could for when I could.
Well,
I hear you.
do you?
I did not want to invoke her.
Bottom line is it was a test of faith that you failed for the Great Mother. There's going to be repercussions, and I'm not sure what they're going to be. It could be the island rejecting you like it did when we first got here.
Perhaps.
And I'm hoping it's not the case. But by my reckoning, being a legitimate worshipper of Roth versus someone who simply kills, like as I motion towards Borellis' camp, I don't believe anyone in there believes or worships Roth.
Roth is about the actual combat, the blood.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't care where it comes from.
You don't think she cares?
Well, she cares
That one of her worshippers called on her and brought her to this place, as opposed to simply being a byproduct of the stuff that was going on. I'm not trying to get on you about it, but it has struck with me.
I understand. There may be other worships of hers as well. I think she goes where blood goes.
I agree. And she has more of a foundation when you invoke her the way you did. Be very mindful of that while we're here, please. I'm begging of you because I feel, and I'm new to this as much as everyone else is, that this island being created by Quaelathorn had a sort of barrier against her kind of her power. And I'm worried now that she now has a permanent foothold here in this field of death and decay that she may not have had before. With that in mind, do you have a Kalen bush seed? I was always under the impression that most Kithki had them with them just in case.
A Cullen shade.
Kaelin Colin, it's all the same. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't think I do.
You actually think there are some on the ship?
But there are some on the ship.
I believe that we, together, you and I, need to plant one here to invite the Great Mother, as we've invited Roth. A sort of way of counterbalancing what is here and what is not. She seems pretty on board with most of Quaitlathorn's teachings, and I feel a kinship to her that I can't really explain.
That seems like a wonderful idea.
So, do not forget.
Only one.
Well, one for sure for the symbology of it. More if we want, we can scatter them all around.
More would be better.
Nobi! My neck hurts. Oh.
You might have been here a lot longer.
Cassius Apzosh!
Time is messed.
Right.
Do you know if we headed north to Otsir?
Of course. Just right that way. But you might not be able to get past the dome, and I'm hoping you can.
What good is a seneschal if he doesn't show up when his lord bellows?
We better get back in. You feeling better? Slap, slap, slap.
I don't know. Am I?
Roll a die 4.
At least a little bit. A whole nother one.
Okay, whole nother one.
All for one.
Beep. One.
Hey, everyone counts.
About that time, Titus, with his warrior sense, and that a short lifetime of discipline, his body wakes him up when he's rested long enough to invoke that. Corey, will you roll 2 die 10? Invoke his healing gift. This is level.
That will be 15.
Okay, and then 3. Okay, great. That's pretty good. He looks significantly refreshed when he gets up. Still, well, I should say, looks significantly healed when he gets up. He's still moving. He still has that undertone of exhaustion to him, but at least he's not groaning and in agony every time he's moving his body. Takes a deep breath. Domini, you got that one. I have to watch him then. He's clever. I'm seeing that. Damn clever. You know, if he'd paid attention and minded his right flank better, he might have had me on the back foot there. I mean, obviously not really, but... And now... There goes His Majesty, and he knocks over the Emperor piece on the board. And Vibius says, my lord has undone me, and he actually drops down to a knee and kind of bows low off of the stool. Yes, well, you put up a valiant struggle, and now you, Lord Vorn, I insist. Succession's more my sister's realm. I, not very good at it. Huh? Of course it is. It's in the blood. Come. Right. So, kind of clears his throat. He looks around, and instead of drinking, he sips at the wine, but then he just grabs a plain wooden cup of water, to clear his throat. He kind of heavily sits on the stool. He's still wearing the armored skirt, but he only has the
Gambeson.
Thank you. Yeah, there was another word for it too that I was reaching for, but gambeson will work. Like jabon, I think. I have to look that up. So the underclothes, but still would count as like padded armor sort of thing. And he's looking over. Set up the pieces. I'll need a bit of help, eh? Oh, of course. And so Lord Zosh gladly starts setting up the pieces. We'll just play the simplified game. You know, in a proper game of Succession, each person alternates and they have to put the pieces down. It really makes the game quite fascinating. It changes every single time. Just amazing. And if you're playing with more than 2, well, then it gets very just intriguing and opens up these sides. But well, Nobi doesn't really play. That's my Zenobia. She does it. Did I tell her? Did I tell you about her?
You have.
I did?
You have.
No, I don't think I did.
I must be mistaken.
My paramour, yes. She's lovely. And, of course, not from the old empire with a name like Zenobia, but, still lovely. And, I mean, it's not like I'm having children with her or anything. I'm sure I'll be married in the proper year. I mean, proper time. And so there's, some more time passes. You start to, Titus goes through the pleasantries, but he's not hard to read. And he's looking toward the tent, and he's not gonna, he just gets slaughtered in a quick game. No, really, no, not there. No, move this one. And then you have the spectacle of Lord Zosh playing against himself, basically.
Right.
And Titus says, "No, I love the look of this." And he just, shoves forward one of the pieces. Well, are you even trying? That just means that your emperor is dead. I prefer not to prolong games that I can't possibly win, Lord Zosh. Oh, well, right, of course, naturally. Well, let's see. I'm sure Cassius will be here at any moment.
How long has he been gone, Lord?
Well, I think it was No, it hasn't been that long. It was sometime today. Yes, sometime today.
Did he head up north? South?
Oh, no, never north. Never north. West.
Why not north?
West, so that he can collect more wood. Yes, he'll be back. And, I don't know where Nobi is, though. She doesn't wander. It's not safe out there,
Oh, excuse me.
Did you ask me some sort of question?
What might I have?
About... Oh, you were worried about your safety. No, you're safe here. You're quite safe here. Stay as long as you like.
No doubt.
In fact, it's... the shadows are beginning to lengthen. You may as well just bed down here for the day.
So I left the tent.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm gonna go check out the west and see what sort of tracks or indication of actual, I'm trying to find out how long it's been since this person's been back, if it's been any recent.
Okay. You go out, let you roll on that in a second. The Lord Zosh looks over at you. Come, my dear. Give me your name again?
You may call me Nilishli.
Nilishli. How positively exotic. Is that, Emirates? Maybe, that's not Makarian, is it?
No.
Well, you're not much help. But here, would you like to learn how to play Succession, the king of games?
Tell you what I'd like to do. An answer for an answer.
Oh, well, look at that spirit. You have never been in the mercantile field, have you, my dear? Go ahead. I find this just terribly diverting, please.
What year do you believe it is?
Those sorts of trivialities are just not of no consequence. But if you had a sensible question, I would be happy to answer.
What is the dome in the sky?
Ah, yes, the dome. Well, you're safe here, you know that, right? You can stay as long as you like.
As they're talking, I'm going to actually be helping Titus get back into his armor.
Okay. And
quietly doing our thing.
He says, well, it's a place of great importance,
No, I didn't.
Great importance.
Great importance to whom?
To me, to that snake Marolus, to Zenobia. She's related to the man who resides there. Surely you've heard of the second greatest chosen to ever walk the face of Terra, Jason Tenderheart. He's surpassed only by the founder of the Empire.
I'm gonna look at Titus.
Titus draws a breath in, looks at the man. Aye, Jason Tenderheart, Lord Zosh. You're right. So it is his tomb up there. Oh, without doubt, Lord Vorn, without doubt. Yes, absolutely. He's in repose there, and we must get there. But I must get there. Surely only patrician blood would be fit to go inside. That dome you speak of, you mean that shimmer, that damnable shimmer,
Aye.
that sometimes has sparkles of gold across its surface. Well, you don't worry your pretty little head about that. It's too dangerous. I mean, you have a healthy look to you. I mean, minus the that was Barolos' lot, wasn't it? Must have been. Can't believe he's still on this island after all this time.
Have you sparred with Barolos?
That's a kind word. Yes. Yes.
And you live. Oh, I'm not there, actually.
Yeah, no.
I'm gone.
I'm actually going to lean in and whisper to Titus because I'm actually helping him.
Yeah, you are.
Just behind his head so that I'm not actually seeing. Did they come here together, Lord? We're on the same ship.
One after the other, I think. I don't know which one first.
Competing patricians for the tomb.
And Lord Vorn, what are you doing? You're clearly still exhausted. You need to rest. You're putting on that articulated plate, and fine though it may be. Really, I insist. It's of no moment. You know you're safe here.
I interrupt. Teach me the game.
Oh, now she's interested. Well, all right. And he starts to just blather on. See, it's really a good idea to start your pieces on your left flank, and all right, you see your Templar here, your knights here. This of course is the first queen and the second queen to mirror the two wives of.
As he's talking, I'm going to pretend to be listening, but I am going to look around the room and the nearby area of where this game is, and notice if I see any signs of age, like how long he's been here, journal entries. Writing, anything that suggests how long he may have been here.
Make 2 rolls for me, Allie. So one of them is going to be, the first roll is deception. At disadvantage.
At disadvantage? Oh. I wasn't planning on that. Right, because I'm exhausted.
Yep.
Okay. Oh. Okay, I moved it. Can I re-roll? You guys saw. I didn't even see it.
Wait, you didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't even see it. Okay, that's going to be a 8.
Okay, and then make an investigation roll, still at disadvantage. DC is pretty low because you know what to look for.
Jesus, 4.
Okay, you start looking and you have a wave of nausea that kind of demands your attention for a moment. You breathe through that, and by the time you get through, he says, "Well, if you're just going to sit there and mock me, then you may as well hie yourself off. But no, actually don't.
My lord, I apologize. I am weary after the day.
Of course, you poor thing. Of course, here I am, just going on and on. Really, there's another fur. Lie down."
I'm gonna go walk over and just sit gently on the fur.
Vibius turns, has his back to the Lord and is pretending to kind of be kneeling. He looks over you like.
Been a long time.
All right, Merrick, you go out, make a tracking roll.
Oh my god. Good. 20 and 16, so let's see, we're tracking. That would be 21.
It has been a fair moment since the feet that you saw have been west or east. A fair moment.
I return.
Okay.
Do you speak Ilakanda? I speak Ilakanda to my lord as I whisper. His companions have long been gone.
Understood, Merrick.
He is out of his mind.
My Lord Zosh, I deeply appreciate your hospitality. Unfortunately, business marches inexorably on. We must be away. I'm sorry, but we must. No, you can't. I haven't finished teaching initially succession, and you're still exhausted, and you have to sleep. My lord, that was never going to be possible. That Barolus, that snake you said, he's holding one of our companions hostage. Oh, he would do that, wouldn't he? Yes, he would, and he has. And so, we must be about our business. Please, do not take offense.
I move over between Gladius and him if I can, just kind of like subtly. I mean, nothing suspicious.
You can get close. You can get closer to him, but he's
slowly more towards.
I'm basically just eyeing if he's going to go for
you're
something.
reading, and
I'm ready.
Motion Vivius back over to us.
okay. Vivius does not hesitate and scurries back over. You know, when we were having such a good time, it really is safe inside of this tent. And then you hear it. Begins to be a rattling outside the tent. It's kind of shaking a bit.
Can I, Merrick is going to do hopefully a surprise thing here, and I want to knock him on his head.
Okay.
Okay.
I was shaking.
And the last thing I'll tell you is that the rattling you hear, some dirt. I need you to stay. We all need you to stay. As you hear a collection of bones rattling up into the upright position. And as we make our way to the intermission, we have a trivia question. Which we've always been having tonal whiplash going on. So this one's almost too easy, but we'll do it this way. What are House Zosh's colors, and what is either their original or current sigil? As the trivia question. So either one will do. If you get both, all the better. So house colors and the sigil.
Ooh, before we go, can I petition for inspiration for saving a VOD last week? And standing up because I was like, we were out of combat. We did not need to go back into it. It could have been taking us right back into it. And I really did not want him to die. Like, I knew.
I was damn impressed that you kept him from his grisly fate. It was pretty sealed. Actually, yes, I'm going to give you inspiration.
Nice.
Thank you.
Don't ask, don't get.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's true. And you won the MVP
Oh, sweet.
last time.
Nice.
Sweet.
All right, y'all. So we will see you at the back end of intermission. Thank you so much, and you'll be seeing some different faces at the table, and we'll catch up with what's happening with Advisor Weisa, yes, and young Jason. See you then.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
See you in a
Guys.
bit.
Why limit your imagination? In the tabletop role-playing space, customization is everything, especially when it comes to your character. Whether you're a player, a painter, or a master of tales, your character is what matters most. Using high-quality, fully customizable miniatures, you can be built for battle with Eldritch Foundry.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
Welcome back. A bit of a different table here. The trivia question was, of course, from House Soch. That was house colors are purple and silver, and the current sigil is a falcon in full flight. The original sigil was an open tome against bunches of plump hanging grapes. It hasn't been that way for a while, and there's a reason for that. Tale for another time. Speaking of, and it was Zach. Zach, you got it on Twitch, just like that.
You're the one.
Nice. Just like that. It's like you and Kratos, ping pong with each other. So talk to us about that. All right, my darling. It's a candle of tales.
Preparing that week.
Indeed. Candle of tales.
Ooh.
A little different feel there. Weisa. For the last 3 winters, you have resided in the bosom of warmth, companionship, bonhomie, understanding. There's a level of compassion and germentum that you now know, you knew already, but you now really know is quite rare in this world. And here you are, thrust back into not quite the same environment that you grew up in, but there are many resonances with that experience. You are not, however, 11 winters, you are now 14, and most importantly, you are a chosen advisor to House Vorn. You also think, as a side note, as you feel your armor, I don't believe you took any damage through any of that. You're pretty sure your armor has somehow gotten harder? You don't know if that was you growing into it, or it attuning to you, or what that process was. You know, Publia had some vague stories about snatching scales off of a green dragon, perhaps even a certain green dragon. But you, there's history at this table, but you don't really know. It seemed to have weathered those arrows, though, the many, many arrows quite well. The master of the camp has his broad back to you, and as he finishes his meal, he just walks by you and grunts out a single word, Dawn, reminding you that come first light, your head is his. Continues on. When do you lower your, okay? Jason, uncharacteristic for him, he shrinks back because he doesn't know what to do. You still don't sense fear for himself, though. It's fear for you. And then he looks at you, and he does have enough wisdom to know not to fawn over you or show that kind of weakness right now, or that kind of concern that would be mistaken for weakness. What would you like to do?
What's my setup? What's my environment?
You're near to one of the fire pits, the one that Avad made the noon meal for. And you now are aware, having seen this camp from multiple angles, that even as is, the camp was meant for substantially more people to be packed in. And then you know that there are those successive rings of camps that at one point were quite a bit larger. But they've been battered and knocked down and abandoned as the winters have rolled by. Signs of age everywhere here, too. And if you need me to remind you of anything about the camp, more than welcome to. You never did find, because you asked a very specific question, I think it was like 3 sessions ago, you never did find a sacred space here, which is in and of itself telling. Maybe it's inside of one of the tents, one of the private tents, you don't know, but nothing public, which of course for your people is unthinkable, and even for Germentum is unusual.
Yeah. Am I bound in any way? They just are keeping me within the gates?
You almost feel, maybe not Barolus, but you can tell some of the men would almost enjoy the enjoy the divertisement of something different hunting you down like an animal. Although you saw Borolus on the field of battle, you know he's exceptionally fleet of foot, not quite like Jason, but you know he'd run you down if he was aware of what was going on. Go ahead.
I have all my weapons.
Currently.
Interesting.
If you want to, make an insight roll.
Okay.
You haven't known Borolus long, but you're beginning to see some patterns.
Insight? 19.
You remember how much emphasis he put on the fact that you were an advisor of House Thorn. His house. One that he probably, in his mind, he would venture to guess, sees more as belonging to him than to Titus. And having you trust like a pig, like a hog for slaughter would diminish you, which in turn would diminish him. For what it's worth, you when he said that he'll give you a clean death, it has the ring of truth.
Interesting. And the men are...
Some of them are looking at you. Most of them, though, have, even after all that massive hullabaloo, have fallen back into this listless, despondent shuffle. And now that you have some time here, you can see them making the rounds around the camp, engaged in empty activity. Things where they might be putting back up a tent that's in tatters, which just falls back down again. Or they might be whittling the same piece of wood obsessively to where there's hardly anything left, and then they just start on another piece. And so on and so forth. And you can, in your trained eye can see the pilings around them. Your trained eye can also see that Caepio Secundus is watching you from a distance, even though he's trying to be discreet.
Okay. Is there any place out of his sight?
You can round the corner of a tent or three.
I would like to just wander a bit and see...
Okay.
And see if I come across any men.
Okay. Caepio, how do you respond to the advisor, the good advisor, wandering away from your line of sight?
Fancy little stroll.
Okay.
Stretched my legs.
Absolutely.
Haven't had much activity.
Nothing of note. So you do round a corner. You see you have a bit of lead time on them. You see 5 or 6 men engaged in again, just a really apathetic game of knucklebones. Oh, good. Won again. Look at me go. And they're passing some worthless wooden chips back and forth to each other.
Ave.
Another one of them looks up. Oh, right. Ave. You were with the young lord, huh?
I am with a young lord.
Was. I think I shot him. Sorry about that.
Can I ask, how long have you been here?
And you can ask. Want to come join us? You're going to be dead come first light. You may as well have some fun.
I appreciate your compassion. And I'll join them.
Okay. Has Weisa ever played Knucklebones before? Okay. So you literally have, they've taken a collection of small, irregular shaped bones. Some look whittled, some not. All of them are clean. In fact, they're worn down. Several of them are worn smooth, even. And they start explaining to you in great detail, and this is the first time you see a little flicker of light in the eyes of the man with whom you were speaking, of interest, of being present, as he tells you, yeah, my pa used to be really good at this. They chased him right out of Leptis Secunda because he was he knew how to toss it, and he could basically always have it come up skulls whenever he wanted. It's kind of nice.
Did you learn such skill?
I tried, but I never quite had the knack. Sometimes you just can't do what your parents can, right?
I understand what you mean.
You smell death around the corner. Oh, wait, are you by your unaccompanied?
I've got my captain.
Okay, my captain. Okay, so yeah, you smell death around the corner. You don't need to turn to know.
No, I just continue to look at the knuckles.
One of the men says, "All right, your turn."
Okay.
Can you give it a cast?
Yeah, so I roll.
Okay. Roll a die 20.
6.
Okay. Oh, it's all shin for you, lassie. A couple of them laugh, and for a moment, again, you catch a little hint at what life might have been like here in better days. Two of them look at each other. One of the men then, after laughing, hangs his head, and you see him just cover his face. He starts quietly sobbing into his hand. Hey now. It's not as bad as all that, Lemonius. Come on. I just want to go home. Yeah, well, I want 3 horrors and 100 sesterce pouch, but what am I gonna get? I'm gonna get my hand at the end of the night. If you're lucky, that's what you'll get, and you'll see another day. That's all there is to it. Well, doesn't look like you're any luckier at knucklebones than you are in life. Sorry about that, advisor.
I'll take what I can.
Yeah. Secundus.
Ave.
Right. Looks like you have a suitor. Come on, boys. I'm not so far gone that I want to be next to that thing. There's some murmurs. There's some other comments, but none of them will get anywhere near you. And then they shuffle away. The man looks at you. If you want, I might be able to find some swill for you.
That would be so generous. Thank you.
Do you want to come with me?
Well, I think it would be impolite to reject my dear host here.
Of course. Why would you reject the hospitality of the soldier rather than the Lord?
The man just looks at the ground and leaves.
You've made your presence known. Is there something you'd like to share?
So calm, so collected. It's almost as if you did not stand on the edge of death. I admire that. Do you fancy a game? Gesture towards the knucklebones.
Well, I'm just learning this game, and I'm not foolish enough to play against someone when I know I'm not talented at this.
Why would you be so foolish as to undertake an endeavor that you have no knowledge of? That would be the height of improper idiocy, wouldn't it?
You are wise.
Jason puts his chin up in the air and puts a protective arm around her.
Oh, don't worry, pretty young boy. I mean you no harm. Now?
Then what is it do you want?
Come with me. Please.
I bow slowly and say, for what matter?
We have much to discuss, you and I.
And me.
Yes.
Thank you. I mean that. I appreciate that.
And you are willing to uphold the agreement that we have all agreed to? No funny business.
I find it deeply amusing that it is my honor that is being questioned, when of the two of us,
You are the one who broke a vow. Fascinating. I will uphold the honor of my lord, as it has been said. Will you?
My lord, Lord Titus, absolutely.
You can feel Jason bristle, but he doesn't say anything.
Then we have an understanding. A good first step. Shall we?
We shall.
As Caepio turns to go, Jason leans and says, Weisa, I lost my dagger somewhere.
I have plenty, dear, and I really swiftly hand him
One of them?
my tiny ones.
Yeah, okay. All right. Even in this horrible situation, he gives you, with, a battered face, he gives you one of his quick knowing smiles. And he tries to slip his fingers into your hand.
I let them touch my fingers, but I place it back towards him.
Okay. His eyes drop to the ground, but he doesn't hesitate as he continues to walk with you. All right. You arrive at Caepio's tent, the second largest tent here. Inside is it's actually quite colorful inside. It's almost like a faded magenta interior, much brighter than out. And the stools are not the typical Empire stools. They're carved more like, so they still resemble more of a stump. Like they've been hollowed out in the center, but there's pretty intricate woodworking. You do see some rather unsavory accoutrement laid out on the table. There's even a delicate-looking skull there.
I'll have the majority of my adoring public on the outside of the tent. I will have the captain stand in the doorway.
Okay. Flap open or flap closed?
Flap closed.
Okay, and with the captain just inside. Okay.
I hope you don't mind. I get so lonely when I am not in the company of my adoring public.
I believe you that you are lonely. Thank you for welcoming me here.
You must be thirsty.
I'm going to make my way over to a urn with some water. Pour myself a cup. Pour one for.
Nothing elaborate. Just some wooden cups.
Just some little water for both of them.
Please.
I hope you understand. I'm not willing to drink from a cup that the one such as yourself hasn't drunk from yourself.
I'm in the process of drinking it.
But you get to her cup as well. You sip.
Forgive me. Of course. Better?
Much better.
There is still a bit of stew, I believe. Are you hungry?
Thank you, but I'm not.
It's a shame.
And I'm gonna go eat.
I kind of am.
Please, my friend.
He hesitates though and looks at you.
Same as before. Will you taste it first, before?
As I'm in the process of eating.
Yes.
You really must learn trust, Lady Advisor.
I'm just gonna keep eating.
Okay. I mean...
Jason, you can have the bowl he is eating from.
So much suspicion. What have I done to deserve such mistreatment? I have offered nothing but hospitality and goodwill.
Jason opens his mouth for some sort of retort, but then closes it again, still not having said anything.
Will you pass him the bowl?
Will you pass him the bowl?
Surely. And I take it out of his hand and I pass it to Jason.
Thanks.
So, I'm fine. I will try just a bit.
Oh, damn. That's really good.
So I'll take one bite.
Okay.
Jason will take the rest. Do my abilities...
It's rich. It's nice. It's really good.
Do my abilities of sharing food and drink with others apply to this scenario? Something that they've eaten before or drunk before me?
Yes, they do.
Okay, great. So I would like to use that ability.
Okay.
To, if I eat something that others have, I have power over them or can learn about them.
As you taste him in the stew, yeah, this is an unknown chosen type to you. As you taste him in the stew, what are you focusing on?
I am focusing on his weaknesses.
Okay, that will be hard, but you do have advantage because you're invoking Breaking Bread. Is the name of the ability.
What's up? So I should just roll.
Yeah, roll Insight twice. Go ahead and roll Deception.
Interesting. The same number. It's a dirty 20.
17.
He's pretty complicated.
Mm-hmm.
The taste has undertones to it, Tatiana. It has a bit of an aftertaste as well. There's more sweet in it that you would have thought, and there's sharp, bitter. Then there are sharp, bitter portions to it as well. And it's the taste profile of a studious man. There is the flavor of his intellect, which is undeniable, which is, literally on display next to you. There's also and this is where you pause. There is a depth, a well, perhaps even a chasm of yearning in a very particular direction. Now, what direction exactly that is, you don't know yet. But now you know that he has a decided agenda, a decided goal here. He's not one of these poor, listless bastards, or even like Barolus, who seems to have lost his way, if not his might. This man is still fully in charge of his faculties, although perhaps the island is beginning to wear away at the edges even of that.
Now that we have...
And you see her seem to really enjoy the moment.
Is there any roll I can make to glean that something untoward or extra is happening here? Or is this...
You're watching... How closely would your character be watching her?
It's the only thing I'm watching.
Make a deception roll. Make either an Arcana or Insight. They will give you somewhat different info.
That's a dirty 20.
17.
How funny. 2017.
Yeah.
You know what? You realize she is a kind of chosen you've never... Well, first off, you realize she's chosen. She must be, or she's some sort, because your character had run into Kithki before, or she's one of the Kist who has a talent. Well, yeah, and you saw her poisoning weapons anyway.
And I also saw her link herself to Titus in some mysterious way.
She is some kind of chosen that you have not run into before, and you are a well-educated, well-traveled man. And you have a sneaking suspicion that somehow the simple act of breaking bread with her provided her with something.
Well, now that we have broken bread, perhaps we may seek to understand each other a little better. Let me speak to you plainly, advisor. You live now
because of me. Your lord and the rest of your company survive because I intervened to make it so. And were it not for me, you would be the newest members of my adoring public. So,
It appears that this is true, and for that I am grateful.
are you? I have some questions, and I would like you to answer them. First, truly, what were you thinking? To have so brazenly fled the camp, this safe haven, knowing nothing of the environment or the dangers. What possessed you?
You are correct. It is a bit baffling, isn't it? What were we thinking? To be honest, your camp felt, not so welcoming, and this island is... We've come all this way to explore this place. So please understand, it was not meant to disgrace you, but to understand our environment when very little questions were answered when we arrived.
So you are received by a lord who gives his word for safe conduct, asks that you remain as he takes a meal, and then you leave to explore this place. Yes, you are on a sightseeing tour. Of course, yes.
Of course.
Nothing in particular, just taking in nature's beauty, I'm sure.
No, not at all. A deep desire to understand this environment.
Any particular parts of this environment?
We are simply choosing to understand where we are and what is happening here.
Forgive me if I find that hard to believe, or if you did seek to understand this place, you might ask a question of those who know of it. I tell you, no one here knows more of this place than I do.
Then perhaps we are finding a beautiful opportunity together.
Yes.
And the reason I am here at this moment is so that I can get these answers from you.
You see, that is how it should have been. That is not how it is. This is not an equivalent exchange. I am attempting to determine if you can truly aid me, if there is any value to your lives. I hope so, truly. But that is not determined yet. So please, make your case.
Make my case. With all due respect, I do not wish to live here in any way if my friends are not alongside me. So to what you may find valuable in me feels a bit moot.
You perhaps misunderstand. No one here, most here, are not here by choice. Myself included.
You don't say.
Difficult though that may be to believe.
You seem quite able and powerful here. So, I don't believe you.
You can't leave?
Not yet.
Can't or won't?
won't. Yet.
You need a boat, don't you?
And?
A crew? I mean, a real crew. Not, no offense.
None taken.
You don't strike me as a sailing man. And they can't do anything you can't do, huh?
Your powers of observation serve you well.
I try.
So what is all this about? We have the crew, we have the boat. Why attack us?
I did no such thing. Until bidden by that who commands me. If you can call it that. Again, I did not wish to harm you. I sought only an exchange of knowledge. It was your lord who rebuffed me twice. And then led the foolish charge into the unknown, costing nearly his life and the lives of his company. For what?
Make an insight roll, Weisa at advantage because of breaking bread. Toby, make a deception roll.
Yikes.
19.
Shit. 13.
You can feel the threads, and you can feel the smooth, polished obsidian glass of his psyche. He's hard to read, even when you have this in with him. You're not sure. There's something else underneath that he's talking around. You don't think he's outright lied to you at any point, but there's something that you're groping for, but you can't quite lay hands on it.
So, please tell me again. Why are you here?
Oh, well, with all due respect, that's not the question you asked before. Why are we here? We were told that there was things to be uncovered here by my teacher. And I do not ask questions, I just listen. So here we came.
And you do not know what it is you seek? Just things?
Perhaps some burial ground of some kind.
Any particular burial ground?
Are there any you know of? I can't seem to remember.
Why does she lie to me?
Weisa, I'm sorry. The most important thing to me is that you get out of this scrape.
Oh, but our friend here said that he would honor the agreement. Or not.
The agreement of your life at dawn? With this boy fed to Constantine screaming?
Aye.
If that is your wish, then we can end this dialogue.
No, it's not my wish.
Oh, what a relief. I'm glad to see someone has sense.
If you wish to keep communicating with me, as I've said, I will be loyal to my lord. I will not speak ill of him or his decisions, and I will not betray his counsel. So, please understand that.
Jason starts pacing.
It seems you want something, and perhaps I can help you. But only if you choose to speak plainly.
I have spoken far plainer than you. I have told you no lies. Can you say the same?
I have only wished to protect my lord.
Then why didn't you advise him not to flee?
Whew. We can keep talking about the past, or we can talk about the present.
It moved. It moved. He looks at the skull.
Say hello to Neria.
Of course I moved. You see the jaw flap and it rattles and hits the table.
Neria,
we have guests.
Master.
Ew. This is disgusting. Pardon me. What is this?
I'm a Calvaria. I help Master. I help Master. I hold secrets and I help him to remember.
No, Nettie. Do not speak unless I tell you to.
I'm still learning, Master.
It's okay, my pet.
That used to be a person.
Yes.
And for the first time, you see he actually looks a little nauseated. Like, all the stuff that's happened, almost getting killed by constant, all that is fine. Well, not fine, but he can weather that.
Let me ask you a question. Is it Jason?
Yeah.
If you were to walk in the wild, come across the body of an Arbo, would you take its skin for your leather? Would you render its fat for the oil? Would you take its flesh to sustain you?
I mean, if I needed to, yeah.
But it was already dead. It was claimed by the Night Mother. Surely that would be an affront to the goddess of night, no?
Tezcatli doesn't need to eat. I do.
Oh, you know of Dread Mother.
You are one of hers, are you not?
I am.
How do you know that?
I've seen her like before.
Here?
Perhaps.
Fine.
I think she spoke to me. This Nilish, the Silver Lady.
What about her?
She is her child, no?
Her creation.
Impossible. But yet here it is. I think she spoke to me, your goddess.
Are there any goddesses that you care for?
Perhaps.
If I tell you what burial site we're looking for, will you share more about?
This is not an equivalent exchange.
Make another add advantage insight roll. Make another deception. As you start to loop around what it is.
Insight?
Yeah.
25.
19.
He's good. You're better.
Sometimes.
You start focusing in. You remember your training. You start breathing. You remember how to penetrate psychic mirrors. Different ways, but this time you choose to step through. And when you're on the other side of it, when he's talking about a goddess, there's a devotion. Why would he care about Nilishli? Why would that be? Is it just academic? No. You see the raw emotion. You can feel it now, because you can taste him right now. You can feel it. And he may use a different word, Tatiana, but there is absolutely, as you would think of it, a goddess driving his every action.
Tell me, advisor. You are loyal to your lord. You do as he commands, no?
I?
What if your goddess, what if Tezcatli herself were to manifest here, now, and tell you to end his life? What would you do?
Brave question. I have made an oath to my lord. It would be against everything I know. And Tezcatli herself, she would do what she had to with me, and I would accept that.
A non-answer. You would do as your goddess bid, I think. Regardless of your loyalties, choices you have made here in this mortal plane.
Perhaps.
What about your cleric of Quaelathon?
What about him?
He speaks with the voice of the gods, no? His divine light fills this plane. I saw it with my own eyes.
Marcus is a good man. You shouldn't mock him like that.
Oh, forgive me. I do not mean to cast aspersions on his character. I mean to say...
He cares. That's not fake. He really does care about everyone around him.
I am astounded that he was able to convince Barolis to spare Evad. That should not have happened.
Maybe
Right now, we should be hearing the screams as the flesh is slowly peeled from his body. But we are not, and you have your Marcus to thank for that.
And he has the Lord of Light to thank for that.
Indeed, the Lord of Light.
So, you seem quite preoccupied with the gods. I'm just curious, why? It seems that you are at your own accord, am I wrong?
Are we ever only at our own accord? Such a foolish thing to believe. This meager flesh, this is not where the game truly is played. You know what it feels like to have the voice of the divine ring through you. So does your Marcus, it would seem.
Do you know what it's like?
I have that privilege, yes. And I will see my pursuit accomplished. With your help, or without.
Well, if you tell me what it is, perhaps I can be of support.
I think not.
Then I can't be.
Then let me make it clear. You will never reach the cathedral without me. I promise you this. I will swear it by your gods, if you wish.
How about you swear it by your God, whose name I notice you still haven't said? He does back up a little from you when he says that, but he still...
I kind of give him a encouraging nudge. That was good. Jeez.
I have honored every arrangement that I have ever made. You do not know me, but I do. I have my own honor, and it is every bit as potent as that Lord. So, I tell you truly, if you do seek whatever is in that thorn-rotting place, I am the only way you will find it.
Can I roll to feel if that's true?
Yeah, absolutely. But, at advantage with insight, go ahead and make another deception. Give me a roll. Let me see where you're
I was going for
Performance, maybe, or persuasion. Yeah.
only a 6.
Okay.
17.
How's the ring of truth? And more to the point, you feel that piercing thread. Now you have your hand on it. That runs through him. That desire that even Caepio Secundus must go north, always north, to finish whatever business it is. And as you run through the words, something tells you his business is probably not within the cathedral proper. It is on the grounds, but not in.
I care not for whatever it is you seek. Your business is your own, as is mine.
Then that means you could get her out of the camp. If she's going to help you get in the cathedral, that ain't here, right?
It is possible.
They'd let you go, wouldn't they?
I can pass unchallenged, yes. I would prefer not to abscond with your lady advisor. It would be best if your companions were to return and claim you. Won't you agree?
Perhaps.
How many people have gone to the cathedral and come back?
Beyond counting, I'm sure.
I mean...
Oh, sorry, come back.
Yeah, come back.
I thought you said not come back.
Yeah. As far as you know, you're looking at him.
Yeah. Myself alone.
You know he believes that anyway.
If you are to bring me there, us there, will you do everything you can to make it a swift passage?
The passage, of course. I will not aid you there in that place.
Understand it.
But I can provide passage. Safely.
And will you ambush us there?
She does not learn, does she? What is it that I want, Jason?
You want something there.
And?
And you want to leave this place, don't you?
Go to the head of the class.
As you're speaking with him, you can feel that power in your blood coiling up. Something you still have never used, but it's there. Remember when it responded to Merrick's? When Merrick was pulling on Rolf? That thing that came up in you? The day that Publia exerted herself on the bandits. Years ago now.
So, here is the arrangement.
Where's my meal? I want my meal! Come here, blue hair! Constantine. Jason looks and steps well away from the flap.
I would not leave this tent if I were you.
Well, when I leave, I got a plan fomenting in my brain right now. He really...
Barolus is many things, but he is a man of his word.
I was just kind of hoping he was, not being literal.
Oh. He was. I shudder to imagine what could possibly be worse than being slowly digested by that behemoth.
We don't need to think about that. You were saying...
I would like to leave this place.
All right.
If it is necessary, I would like to do so with you and your company.
All right.
I can provide you guidance to this place that you seek. And back to your ship.
And?
That is all I offer. Bear something in mind before you answer. I can end your life and the lives of all your company by speaking only 3 words. I do not wish to do that, but I can, and I will.
You mind if we talk for a second? For a flicker?
But of course. And I will go to another urn. I've got a little bit of wine secreted away.
He kind of tries to pull you to the other side of the tent. Drops his voice. Wait, I'm pretty sure if he really wanted us dead, we'd be dead.
I agree.
I don't have time to tell you what I saw above his head, but...
Tell me.
The shortest way is to say... He's as devout as Marcus.
Just something...
But it ain't anything I've ever seen before, and I don't actually think it's a god. But for him it is. What I'm going to say is this, and I don't want you to get mad. I can't lose another friend, and you're more to me than a friend. I just can't. And I'm tired, but I still got plenty of run in me. I was looking at that rug. I think, well, maybe one of those chests, or I don't know. You're pretty small. Maybe even if you fold it up, you go in a big rucksack. I think you could just walk out of here with you. And I think I'm going to stay.
What do you mean?
Well, he says, as soon as they see you gone, they're going to come after you. But I want to give him something else to think about.
Proposing to eat you, Jason.
Or worse. I know what feed can mean. Remember, I've been a slave before to some pretty cool men. And yeah, I'm sure at the end he'll eat, but I can run fast, and I can be real hard to pin down once I get ahead of steam. I can cause chaos here, and they're not even going to know you're gone. And they're going to kill you at dawn anyway. So I think I can give them a run longer than that. I gotta give you time.
And will you find us? What's your plan?
Well, I've been watching how they move. I think I can probably get over to the west side. There's a lot of abandoned tents there. I'm gonna grab some fire on my way too. If Caepio will let me, actually, I'm gonna take that flint kit I see over there. Maybe you can spare it. And I'm gonna raise all 9 hells. I'm gonna light this fucking place on fire.
Please advise with him. I do not need you getting lost here. If this is what you feel is true, I will not stand in the way, but do not be foolish.
I guess you just haven't known me long enough. I'm kind of foolish.
Well, I won't allow it on this island. Do you understand?
And do you understand that I'm pretty sure I'm falling in love with you? Yeah, he blushes and turns away. If I'm gonna die, it may as well be for something I care about, right?
I don't want you to die at all.
No, I don't want to die either. But
Little whimpers from...
he tries to give you a hug.
I give him one that is slight.
Measured. He reads that, actually, and he doesn't just crush you to him. Mr. Secundus, Do you think I might be able to just borrow that Flint kid over there?
May I ask why?
You ain't never seen me run before, huh?
I have not had that pleasure, no.
I'm fast. I'm real fast. Faster even than your lord here. I watched him. I can pace him, and but I need fire, and I need to buy y'all time. Well, not you so much. Like you said, you pretty much come and go, I imagine, as you please. But they're gonna figure out that she's gone, huh? He's not that dumb. And not to put too fine a point of it, sir, but I imagine that once he figures out, you can't see it in here, but he's like flicking at his arm. I imagine that, well, you know what's the saying, burning the boats behind you? Because you probably won't gonna get such a good reception back at the camp if he figures it out.
That is true.
Which means you're probably not gonna murder her.
I do not wish that, no.
I just, people see me and they think I don't amount to much, and I haven't seen much, but I've seen plenty. And I've seen so many people I care about come and go, and there wasn't fuck all I could do to stop it, and this time I think I can.
I understand your plan here. We are to abscond while you distract Borolus and Constantine and his dozens of capable soldiers. We simply walk out as she is tucked in a sack.
Oh, actually, I was thinking maybe that chest. You will work in tops. You always have stuff with you, don't you?
It's true.
Just not with, Neria, the skull gal.
Do you hear that?
I do! It hurts my feelings!
How sad.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't know you had feelings left to hurt. So, I did. He's like coughing in character.
Am I to understand you do not believe your companions will be successful? They will meet their untimely demise before they can return to claim you?
I'm not willing to take that chance, not with her.
I believe they will.
Maybe it's a bad bet, Weisa. But, yeah. But then what happens? They come back? You think that SOB out there? Actually, I wouldn't say that because you think that son of a gun is gonna care? I mean, he'll honor the letter of his word, right?
Indeed.
Okay, so he doesn't kill you at dawn. They give him whatever, and then what? He just lets him skip out?
Have demonstrated their value.
Oh.
The reason I was able to buy this time, Borolus too seeks what you seek. He will come with all of his men and kill us. You see how successful you were before. I admit I am a little more capable than I demonstrated, but even that would be a hard fight.
So he's going to turn on him anyway.
He now believes that your Marcus may at last provide the key to what he seeks. I do believe that is the case. I believe of anyone here, it is your Marcus who has the best chance of passing through the trials of that place.
So if I were to go with you, how would they find us?
A good question.
You're safer there, Weisa, than sitting in this camp. Way safer. You just got to get out.
Jason, I don't know if that's true.
They're gonna kill him anyway. That Lord's gonna try to kill our Lord anyway. It's just a matter of time. You know
If
that.
they think that Marcus is powerful and a key, I don't think they will.
They're gonna use them.
Indeed.
I know these people. I don't know those men, but I know those men. They're gonna use them to get what they want, and then they're gonna... I've seen it happen before.
I'm going to... Does Neri float?
She can.
I'm gonna send her to do a lap around the tent just to make sure there's nobody listening around.
Okay. You see this thing levitate off the table and
Don't like it.
begin floating. She has to stay close to you. There's a tether.
But I think there's enough room that I can at least make sure that having a VOD not tied to a cross is actually giving me a bit of anxiety. So.
And this wasn't in my head, but you maybe just plucked it right out. Do you think I could get some kind of help from Avad? I mean, at least to start. You seem awful grateful.
He is Barolus's creature. Even after this place, it changes you.
Okay, listen.
Uh-huh.
I will go with you as long as you provide Jason with everything he needs to be able to get back to the ship.
Consider an alternative. We know that Barolus seeks what you seek. He will march in strength. With your help, or seeking you to kill you.
He would go far and wide just to kill me.
If you flee, yes. As he says, there's so little that is new on this island.
And that's why I gotta raise hell over here so that you have time to make it across that field. It ain't that far. You can make it.
Then you're proposing that Jason follows them.
I am proposing that you consider if your companions are successful, they return before dawn, your life is spared. They have demonstrated their usefulness. How sweet. Barolus, he will bluster, he may injure, he may even kill one of you. I don't know. But eventually, he will attempt to find a way through the many dangers and trials to at last seek his goal. Would it not be better if the dangers of the journey were mitigated by dozens of hapless soldiers?
But you just said you don't even know what his reaction is going to be, right?
I know.
He's going to keep Marcus alive. That doesn't mean he's going to keep Merrick alive or his cousin or anybody else alive.
It is possible, yes.
You know him better than anybody.
Barolus seeks the treasure, as you do. Whether we venture with him to turn our cloaks at a more opportune moment, or we strike out on our own with danger in front and behind. A difficult prospect.
But that way I know she's safe.
Tell me, which is more important to you? Your purpose here, or her?
Her.
And what would your lord say?
With due respect to the Domini, I don't care. You're the most important thing on this island to me.
Jason.
You have to decide, Weisa. I'll do what you want, but that's what I want to do.
It is very important to me that my friends are safe. I did not come here to lose anyone. And that is my main priority. So if they come at dawn and they are distracted by us and our departure, I will depart with you now. If they come back and they are met with harm, that I will not allow. So perhaps we do go, and we let our exit be what saves them.
You go with her? Will you help her?
That depends. What assurance can you offer to me? Perhaps you wouldn't have noticed. I am placing myself at severe disadvantage in this scheme.
But you're so powerful.
It's true. But your lord doesn't know that.
Doesn't he?
Perhaps he would have chosen his words more carefully if he did. Now,
He can't leave here, Weisa, without our help. If he could, he would have done it already. You've been here a long time, haven't you?
not as long as most.
I believe that. But you know he would have gotten what he wanted and left. He needs us just like we need him.
Correction. You need me more than I need you. There will always be another ship. It would be my preference to bring this chapter of my life to a swift close. Sooner rather than later. I do not believe your lord will think kindly of your suggestion of my inclusion in your adventures. Do you think you can advise him of my value?
Yes. I can, as long as you well prepare Jason.
If you can trust me to do anything, it is to act in my own self-interest. And in this case, the better prepared he is, the better prepared we will be. So, do you swear by your goddess, by all the loyalties and vows and oaths that you have taken, you will give me passage off this island and allow me to leave your presence unmolested when we find another shore?
I cannot speak for the monsters in the sea, but I can speak for my men and my people. And as long as you are not harassing us, yes, you will have safe passage.
You have some keen insight into my thinking and being. So, I will tell you as truly as I can. I will honor our arrangement. And if you do not, I will sink that ship, even if I'm still on it. Do you believe that I can?
Aye.
Good.
What do you need, boy?
He rattles off a couple pieces of gear. You set about silently gathering it. Jason looks at you.
You're brave. And you're a little foolish. And I care about you dearly. Please don't get lost.
He waits until Caepio's involved with the little sack. He takes the cloth and he wraps it around the crystal. Remember when I said that this always comes back to me?
I...
He takes your armored hand. He puts the crystal in your hand, closes your fingers over it. Waits. Then actually takes it out of your hand and tries to quickly put it over your neck and tucks it under the gorget. Right. Okay. Time for me to run.
Thank you.
And he gives you a surprisingly graceful and formal bow. That is where we will pause our tale. So, I hope this has answered some questions for you, faraway friends. Probably raised a few more as we continue our journey on Paradise Isle here. And we delve deeper into the mysteries of the tomb of Jason Tenderheart and perhaps Caepio Secundus's agenda as well. So until we meet next, next session will be the last session before we go on hiatus for 4 weeks. I think I'm going to put our shooting schedule maybe up on Discord, so that y'all can know, and we have some things in the works. But until next time, stay safe out there on your journey and stay curious. Thank you so much for the gift of your time. Vale.
Vale.
Oh.